Our apprentices earn while you learn. They're not graduating with student debt. They're graduating with a savings account, health insurance, and a pension already started. You are the community partners that make this work. You are a pipeline to new members in the building trades.
We do things that no business in this state does. We do things that government cannot do. We give a chance to working class kids to get into the middle class, because in the end, we have to be reflective of the communities in which we live.
And I'm happy to see the educators represented here this morning, because I really think that this conversation about apprenticeships and job training has to start in our schools.
You can begin to see a theme emerging. Apprenticeship utilization, apprenticeship readiness programs, multi-craft core curriculum, ensuring that all segments of a community are able to participate in the great opportunities that exist in the construction industry.
We have a 40% targeted worker goal. We have a 20% apprentice worker goal and a 10% disadvantaged worker goal. So my big message is, it can be done.
We look at all of our PLA projects as very much a partnership. It's the contractor, it's the city, and it is the building trades.
When I came to the district, I inherited a project labor agreement, and I was skeptical. I was retired Navy, and we didn't deal a lot with unions and labor agreements, and I thought, well, maybe we'll have a good program in spite of a project labor agreement. I can tell you a few years ago, when it came time to renew ours, I was first in line and said, let's do another agreement for another 10 years. We have had some tremendous success with it, and it's not in spite of it, I think it's because of it.
So what we do with the Gladiator program is we prepare people for their first day of work. We expose them to the physicality of the work. During this class, they're exposed to industry-specific identification of material, safe working practices, and we actually expose them to some of the psychological aspects of the job site.
With the help of Chris Hanna and the building trades, Antelope Valley Youth Build, and the Antelope Valley Community College, we were able to come up with a plan and a system to integrate a satellite apprenticeship program for the ironworkers out in Antelope Valley.
Part of having those tradeswomen, when you're talking about having a familiar face and role models, nothing is a stronger role model than seeing women wearing tools. Women standing up and being in leadership. It is that kind of, to the best of our ability, 50% of our people coming in are going to be veterans.
Last year, we helped over 2,500 veterans nationwide get into apprenticeships, which is our best year ever. That brings our total number of veterans transition to over 25,000 nationwide.
You may not ever be able to see what your legacy is and the fingerprints that you put on the world behind you. But the reality is that you are impacting the world, and the way that we design work opportunities and family access will leave an impression for years and years to come.
When you guys are here today talking about various ways to recruit folk from different communities and to work for your companies or to be part of the trades or to be part of labor, that's what it's all about. And we have to send that message to the rest of the country.
So it's a 240-hour program. 120 hours is the MC3 building trades curriculum. It's our job to prepare people for the apprenticeship process.
I've been incarcerated most of my life. As a child, I was incarcerated from the age of 12 to the age of 18, and I spent most of my adult years in prison. I started the pre-apprenticeship on March 13, and I graduate May 31st, right? And I want to say that this pre-apprenticeship program has taught me the fundamentals of being a construction worker, of being a union member. I've just been on a positive track ever since.
So people say, well, why are you so successful? Why does this work? How come so many of your students are getting in? because I am them. I am them. I'm that single teenage, unwed mother that came from public assistance that found the pathway through the building trades, through apprenticeship preparation, through community organizations that cared enough to put people from the South LA community to work.
The industry invests over $1 billion a year, non-government funded. We have 1,600 training facilities around the country, 20,000 certified instructors. We work with 70,000 employers, both large and small, around the country. And that's really the heart and soul of the construction industry and how we develop the skilled workforce. It's not easy. It's getting more difficult, but there are tremendous opportunities, and the more effective our pipelines, our workforce development pipelines are, the greater the success of the industry.